parents and these are our two terribly behaved children. You two! We've already done this once!
Hello, welcome to another episode of Icewind, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We're
I don't
here.
have my notes. I've just
You
remembered.
don't have your notes.
I don't have my notes.
You
died.
Make them
No.
up. Make them up.
I'm gonna go.
Well, actually, Sarah, in that case, do you want to do the recap? Go on, off the top of your
I've
head.
not got any notes.
Top of your head, go. And it was like
Okay.
a week ago we
Here we
recorded.
go. Yeah, great. Also, who am I kidding? I don't really write notes anyway. Okay,
I'm
from the
going
top
to
of
go
my
get
head,
my blank bit of paper.
I just like a pen. I just like to play with the pen while we're recording. We were transported to an owlbear cave. We immediately or almost immediately saw a dragony wormling thing and then hid from it. Decided we needed a short rest, so we went up the rope into pockets? No, into Pignut's little pocket of air.
I'm
What
not sure
was it
that's
called?
what he called it. It's a rope
Dimensional
trick. Yeah,
rope trick.
Yeah.
That's it. Went up there, had a little short rest, and Pignut and Topiary both did useful things, and I just meditated. We got our bearings a little bit. We went into the cave to explore. Topes and Baskia hid whilst Pignut went further down. Oh, we got a big badger that went down, lost its footing, and booped.
Big badge.
Big badge. And booped the wormling dragon that was in the cave. The boop woke it up. Pignut pretended to be Aurial to try and control the situation, but it didn't go super well. Meanwhile, back up further in the tunnel, we were hiding, and the shaman came along. This is good. Look at my brain.
You're really good at this.
This is all right. Shaman came along. I pretended to be in league and coming to do something about the druid from before, and being like, we must avenge her. And then everything sort of kicked off, and we ended up in a big old fight. And I think what happened is that we killed one or both of the dragons. Both. And then the shaman we did kill, but whilst discussing whether to smash his head in because he'd been like, I'll be back anyway, he's now back. And I feel like that's where we ended.
Yeah. I forgot.
Wow, that was amazing.
done.
That was great. That was great.
I've peaked, everyone. That's it
That's
now.
it. Should we finish the episode?
Yeah.
Thank you
great.
for joining us on the Imaginary Tavern. See you next time. No. Correct. That is all the stuff that happened. Pretty much. I think just one thing to clarify. I think when you brought up the druids, he was just like, we are different to the druids.
Okay.
Or at least he was, or maybe not different, but the sense of maybe superiority over the druids, I'd say.
Okay.
But yes. So to set the scene, the cave with the exterior, which had been beautifully carved to look like the Frostmaiden, adorned with horns and teeth and beautiful sort of glowing reflective eyes. The floors of this cave are shined and sheen. The ice is beautifully smooth and is currently blood is dripping all over the white ice, which the blood is probably freezing from the cold in here. There is two dead young wormlings, white frost dragons, dead. There's a small pile of coins and
we looted,
copper.
yeah.
You looted. I think you picked up the spell scroll.
The spyglass.
Oh, the spyglass.
And the wallet or the leather.
And the
something.
leather wallet, that's right. And there's still a spell scroll, which you've not managed to grab. The shaman, a bare-chested, heavily built, wide-shouldered man. Parts of his skin are black and frozen where he has become frostbitten. He is completely missing his nose. is standing back up. He grabs the arrow in his forehead and yanks it out. Blood splattering across the cave wall, throws the arrow down and looks at you all. I will say this one more time. I am blessed by the Frostmaiden, and she will not let me die.
See about that. Can I channel divinity to destroy undead?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, let's have a look. Raises the question of something.
Early for gin and tonic.
It's kombucha.
Prove it.
No, I shan't.
You channel your divinity. What does it look like when you're doing this?
Checking if there's any rules to it. Okay, I'm like, gotta get a super determined look on my face, plant my legs, stand in a sturdy girl fashion, and glare at the shaman, and from the jewel in my head, it's going to be like and radiate out a red light that will radiate out from me, and try and kind of like as it passes through, you kind of feel it a bit going and vibrating your body a bit, not in a weird way, in a cool way.
As you all feel sort of this vibration, and you feel the divine energy radiating from Topiary. He stares and he looks at you. And he looks at his arms and his hands as he feels this vibration. And he says, what an interesting sensation. One that I have not known for a very long time. But your divinity will not harm me. Not while I'm protected by the Frostmaiden. And not while blood courses through my veins.
We'll see about that then. And whenever you're ready, I want to attack.
I want to attack again.
It's going to be some kind of like initiative. Also, because we were just recently in combat, I don't know if my spiritual weapon would still be up.
What's the duration of spiritual weapon? Is it a minute?
It's a minute, yeah. And I'd done it. I didn't mark exactly how long it'd been up.
I think it'd only been a couple of rounds. So I think if you're gunning to attack in this instance, I think, yeah, you still got a couple more rounds left of it.
I definitely want to squash him with that.
Okay. So I think I think everyone knows that we're on the cusp of potential combat and sort of what you want to do. I think he is very aware that this is a possibility, so I need everyone to re-roll initiative.
Makes sense. Oh, first natural one. I'd rather it be this than anything else.
So anyone above 20?
29.
Jesus.
Rolled a
Ow.
natural 20.
Are you rolling your D30?
No comment.
10 to 15? Okay.
I got 16. I got
Okay.
confused there.
Then Baskia. Okay, so Topiary, as you start to conjure down your spiritual weapon towards the shaman, Pignut, you get jump. You see what Topiary's about to do. Topiary's about to attack. What do you do?
I'm gonna scream. We need to chop his head off. Maybe that'll do it. I'm gonna just shoot arrows at his neck.
Okay, roll to attack.
Is this like a new? It's a new combat. So
I'm going to say this is a new combat. Yeah.
Then that's great. Does my hunter's mark from the last combat still remain up? It's an hour-long concentration.
Yes,
It was already on.
Yes, it does. You are concentrating still.
Amazing. Right. So first attack. 29.
29 hits.
Oh. Sorry, that was.
A rock falls down.
2 5. Oh, terrible. So that's 7 points for the first one.
Yep.
Second, 17 to hit.
17 hits.
And that's 10 for the next one. And then, oh no, actually I haven't been rolling. Sorry, I haven't been rolling Hunter's Mark, so I'll just roll 2 more die. 2 D6s, so plus 3 and 2, so another 5 as well. And then for the last one, 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Great. And I get an extra D8 with this one, which is great. So that's 2 plus 6, 8, and a D6 plus 3, so 11 plus 5, so 16.
So that's a total of... That's a total of 38 points of damage. As you fire off 3 arrows, 2 in the neck, 1 in the chest. You hear him trying to breathe through as you're piercing his windpipe. Blood dripping down his chest. His eyes wide, staring at you, just accepting the damage. Topiary.
I am going to move my spiritual weapon to hit him.
Yeah, roll to attack with your spiritual weapon.
12.
12 just misses. As even though with 2 arrows in his neck, 1 in his chest, he feels the energy of the spiritual weapon and deftly swings out of the way as it swings down and hits the ice.
With my main action, I'm going to run up and hit him with my mace.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Forgot cap one.
As you swing down, he grabs your mace. And he let's have a look.
I hate him, but everything he does is really cool.
He wants. Ask there.
I know.
I mean, let's just remember the chain of events. You came into the cave. You woke up the dragon, which then attacked you. Then you started attacking him, and now he's been defending him. All of this has been defense at the current moment. You have attacked him.
I don't think we were brought here. We were forced here against our will. We needed that purple gem.
Oh, yeah, did you get that?
Bloody dragons can give it. Yes, I've got it now.
He grabs the your mace, and he pulls you in, and he says, through like blood splattering on your face, he goes, "What god is it that you worship that has brought you here?"
The Frostmaiden. The real one.
We should have a chat.
I'm listening.
It is the shaman's turn. He's going to push back your weapon, and he's going to drop his he is like a flail which he just drops on the ground. He's going to spend his action pulling the arrows out, blood's flying everyone out of the chest, and he's going to say, if you wish to, and hold his neck, and you get more, he gets clearer. If you want to talk about the Frostmaiden and what is happening here, come to the shrine. And he will turn and he will use his 30 feet of movement to walk back up the slope. Baskia, Topiary, you both have attack of opportunity if you would like it.
I'm not going to attack him. I'll follow him.
I think, I don't think any of us would necessarily want him to be out of our sight, necessarily.
I don't know. Look at Pignut. He's thinking about it. He just took out 2 dragons.
38 casual damage.
There is no way that I trust this thing. But can I, if we're out, are we out of combat?
Yeah, if neither of you do anything, and if you don't initiate and you let him walk away, then yeah, if no one wants to do anything on the next round of initiative, so that would be Baskia. Is there anything you'd like to do on your turn?
No, all I would have done is I would have held an action.
Okay.
So I would have allowed any kind of chatting, but then held it to attack if anything
Fab.
went wrong.
Pignut, it is your turn. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts on him.
Okay. Do you want to? Are you doing that within the sense of combat, or would you like to do that if we're going to break from combat?
If we're going to break from combat,
Fab.
yeah.
So that comes back from Topiary. You've already said you didn't want to do anything. Has that changed? Okay.
No, I'm just going to follow him.
So, as you follow him back up the slope, slowly going over the bloodied ice floor, he leads you up beyond the entrance and to where the cave split into 3. He leads you to the right-hand side, to the rightmost cave, and he disappears round the corner into another room. Do you follow? Yeah. As you follow, you find yourself in a room caked with blood. You can see several large tables with butchering equipment on them, heavy knives, blocks to sharpen them, hooks. There are several racks with various types of various animals which had been there to sort of dry or freeze to sort of make jerky. There is the skin of an owlbear hanging from nails on the wall. Blood is dripping from the hide of the owlbear. As it hits the ground, it lands into grooves, which spread across the floor, filling the grooves, making a huge icicle, snowflake on the ground. A symbol used widely from the Frostmaiden. In this room, there's also tables with stone which has been chipped into the shapes of animals and humanoid figures. Very balletic in style, beautifully carved, as well as wood that has been whittled into beautiful shapes. If you can look past the blood and the gore, the icicle on the floor, the statues, they're all of profound, if slightly horrific, beauty. He walks across the chamber and he sits down and crosses his legs on one point of the snowflake and offers you to join.
Vibe in here that you've got going on.
Can I just have a real good look at the figures as I go past and just see if any of them bear a resemblance to anyone familiar?
Yeah, roll me a like investigation or a perception check.
10.
They are there's sort of various animals that you would find here. I think one of them you see, which you're drawn to, is like, it's almost like a large chess piece, like a rook from a chess piece. But the top part of the rook has like a skull in it. And there's like a winding staircase that goes up the center of the rook that leads to this kind of skull face. That sort of takes your attention. But other than that, all of it is extremely well crafted, beautiful pieces of artisan figures.
Is there a reason it takes my attention? Or is it just fancy?
Not that you can think of, but it's that you do notice it.
Can I slowly reach out to give it a poke? I'll stop if he gets upset.
He watches you and he says, seems you have it seems there may be a part of the Frostmaiden within you after all. Do you know this place?
I want to pick it up.
I will hold it to the light.
There is no light. I will just hold it up and have a look at it. And I will say, let us talk more. And I will come and sit down. And I want to kind of keep it. Just want it.
So you do not know what that is?
I know, perhaps, but do you know? It's just a test.
Of course I know. I created it. All the while he's got his hand on his throat from where he just had several arrows shot through his neck.
I'm not going to give him a healing spell. I've got any, like, corks or something in my inventory?
Corks. Little tiny corks.
Would I have cast detect thoughts?
Oh, yes. Yeah, as you sit down, you cast detect thoughts. And you're just looking for surface thoughts, or do you want to probe deeper?
I'm just, to begin with, just surface thoughts.
You hear he's very confident, like he's not scared. Like being essentially butchered twice in his home. There is no fear across him. As Topiary holds this figure, you learn the name of it. Grimscale. Grimscale. Let me make sure I've got that right, actually.
As soon as I hear that, I'm going to telepathically tell Granny exactly what it is.
The Grimscale, I see.
Let me just...
Thanks, Pignut. Teamwork.
Yeah, Grimscale. Or Grimskull? Grimskull.
Grimskull.
It's GRIMSKALLE.
Sorry, what was it again? The name?
Grims, GRIMSKALLE.
Great.
Skull.
Grimskull? Grimskull. That makes sense. It's part. There's a big skull on it. So you hear Grimskull, Topiary. You say, Grimskull. And he goes, yes. The abode of the Frostmaiden herself. Such a sordid history of the place. Did you know she slew the last of the frost giants to claim it as her own? No, clearly not.
No, I totally knew that. But for the benefit of my friends here, go on.
That is it. She came, she required a place to call home, and she took it, slaughtering the frost giants until they were no more, taking Grimskull as her home.
See why
And
she
who-
would be so inspirational to people if that's the attitude and implementation of her wishes. And I'll like sort of sit down in some place that's not covered in blood and continue and just listen.
Yes, Baskia, truly she was an inspiration to me in my search for a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And all the murder that goes with it.
So, you have yet to answer my question. What is it that brings you to my temple? We are not close to 10 towns. I assume that is where you are all from. You do not look like the Goliaths who roam the spine of the world.
Why, the Frostmaiden herself has sent us here.
And what is it? If the Frostmaiden has sent you here, what brought you to slay her guardians and to slay her shaman?
You started it.
I seem to remember that slightly differently. I walked in.
Death can affect the memory in awful ways.
I have not died. From what I remember, you came here because you wanted to avenge the Frost Druids in their woods and in their meddling of 10 towns. But that seems to be a ruse to just plunder and loot from this temple.
They tried to kill us, those dragons, outside before we even entered, so they did start this. It's not true, but
Yeah, roll
It's
me
true.
roll me a
They took
deception
my
check.
elk.
they took the elk. That's
And
right.
the
that is
badger.
true.
And the badger. The badger didn't do anything apart from poke him with its nose.
But also, you sent the elk as a distraction to be.
It could have just been like, oh, look at that elk running across the landscape.
18.
18.
Oh, a badger. Oh, boop, boop.
It's really good for me. And I'm in his head still. Only for not much longer because it only lasts a minute.
Okay. Well, you can probe deeper if you would like to before that happens.
Okay.
That's going to be a 15. So yeah, he relents and says, despite whatever circumstances have brought us to this situation, 2 of my guardians lie dead within my caves, with their blood on your hands. And you have still not told me what it is that you want from this place.
We don't know. We were sent here. Why are you listening?
Sent to do what?
Perhaps you need something, or perhaps we were here to collect something.
How is it that you were sent here? You said the Frostmaiden has sent you.
Mm-hmm.
You claim to be devotees of the maiden herself. Is that correct?
Through magical means.
And I shall show him the ring.
He looks at it. I see. And you see that he's got a similar ring on his hand. The Frostmaiden did bring you. But why? Why does she
Exactly.
want you here?
Because I am totally the best of the devotees. What can you tell us about Shardlin? You seem to have some knowledge.
Can I delve deeper into his brain at that point?
Yeah, he needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah. He's going to know as well that I do this, so... Ooh.
That is a natural 20.
Shit!
Oh.
His eyes flare as he looks at you, Pignut. And he pulls his mind away from yours. You see him tense up and sort of sit a little taller, broader. You wish to know about Shardlin, a cursed mineral which is finding its way into our icy tundra from deep beneath the ice. The Frostmaiden has granted myself and the others who follow her will against the corruption it has. And she protects the rest of Icewind Dale from it corrupting the entirety of this land. That is why the everlasting Rime began. To stop us being, and this land being corrupted beyond recognition.
How would we recognize the stages of corruption?
Those who are not protected by the Frostmaiden will find themselves in contact with large amounts of Shardlin going mad, having fits of rage, and states of stupidity in moments of great strain.
Why do you use Shardlin as your ring, then, for the Frostmaiden? That makes no sense.
It is to show my devotion to her. She has protected me from this. I have shown that I will wield this power in protection. I will use it. I will find a use for this Shardlin and ensure that it does not corrupt anyone else. I will take that burden on myself.
What is the connection between the Shardlin and the
Baskia, what are those dwarves called?
Jurgar.
Jurgar?
I have been hunting the Jurgar. I have found that they have been amassing great quantities of this Shardlin and other humanoids of the land, mystic folk, learned wizards have been trying to do the same, although their reasons seem to differ. But both would expose great quantities of Shardlin to the entirety of 10 towns and the entirety of Icewind Dale. Soon they will... And he sort of stops. Shardlin must remain beneath the ice. That is all.
Well, in that case, perhaps the Frostmaiden has brought us here because I have brought you one of the primary Jurgar hunters of our times, Baskia Kiryndur.
Hello.
So...
Yes. Yeah, I fought a lot of Jurgar. That's what I've done. So I'm interested that you're not. I had assumed that they were working with you, but are you all just using them?
Using the Shardlin? Or using the
using
Jurgar?
The Jurgar to get more Shardlin? I don't know.
No. I am not affiliated with those underground wretches in the slightest.
I will say then that a lot of your people who profess to be devotees of, and I'll look at types and be like, Aurial, that they are very much working together, in league with each other. Jurgard really running the show, lots of needless violence, gathering Shardlin, working together as a team, Aurial and the Jurgar. So I'm very interested that you, as someone who seems so important, is saying the exact opposite, because it does not seem to be what people are doing.
Question.
Yes.
Does Baskia believe that, or are you deceiving right now?
No, I believe that because, like, I'm basing that on the fact that the Jurgar were working with, what was his name that we were chasing for a while? Sephic. I know it wasn't Sephic, but the guy who was pretending to be Sephic, that they were working together, and then now the shaman is like, no, we're not affiliated with the Duergar at all. So that's where. So she's not trying. She believes that is a discrepancy. I broke him.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Could you roll a persuasion check?
Yes, I'm really good at those. Oh, okay. So it's a 16. So it's a 15.
15.
Thank you, dice.
He says, I know of no Duergar who have any reason to worship the Frostmaiden. But if this is true, I do not understand why the Frostmaiden would wish them to amass such quantities of Chardalyn, and what that reason would be.
It is not the Frostmaiden, but somebody totally just ripping her off.
So you believe that the Duergar do not worship the Frostmaiden, or believe they worship the Frostmaiden, but actually worship someone else entirely who is pretending?
Lies. It is all lies. What do you think about human sacrifice, by the way? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I believe that sacrifice is needed throughout 10 towns.
Just look around the room, Granny Topes.
Yes, but are there any humanoid remains in the room?
Ooh. No, I don't think there are.
Yes, but literal humanoid sacrifice, for that is what they are. These people are promoting around 10 towns. Actual human sacrifice.
Yes.
Okay, so you're totally for it.
The everlasting Rime is not only there to test us and to keep it going, to make sure that what lies beneath is not released. We must show our devotion to the Icewind Dale and to the Frostmaiden in all its facets.
And what is it that lies beneath the ice that cannot be released?
Only the Frostmaiden knows what she is holding back. I simply follow her word.
Then we shall travel to here, Grimskull, and we shall ask her ourselves.
What a good idea, right, gang? Look around.
I'm sure the Frostmaiden would relish the opportunity to meet 3 of her devotees in the flesh. Perhaps that's why she sent me to you, so I could direct you to her lair, to her home.
Is that true? Did he get sent to us by her? Like, did she go to this cave? These people are here.
We're magically here.
That's what you've just said. And he's just gone, well, maybe that is what she's done.
Sounds better if you frame it as her home, not her lair. Let us go forth to the dark den of Frostmaiden.
What? Is it going to be covered in blood too?
Travel far to the west, back across 10 towns, and then to the sea of moving ice. Cross the sea, and you will reach the island which holds Grimskull. There you may meet the Frostmaiden, and she will deal with you how she sees fit if you are truly a devotee. Well, you will have nothing to fear.
And what is the island called?
It's the island of Grimshaw.
I'm confused. So the Frostmaiden sent us all the way over here to the east to be told to go all the way over to the west to another island there with no way of...
Well, the gods work in mysterious ways, do they not, Pignut?
It
And
was your
also,
suggestion also.
we totally have another reason to go that way because of your, the whole ship thing, the frozen sea.
Yes, no, I'm all for going over there. I'm still very confused.
You see, we were totally going that way anyway. What is your name, Shaman?
I have given my name to the Frostmaiden.
Okay.
I have allowed her to ravage my skin. I have allowed her to take everything from me, so I may fully devote myself to her.
What should we do with the shardlin that we have? How can we put it somewhere that it cannot be misused?
Well, if you are blessed by the Frostmaiden, wield it, and surely nothing ill will befall you. You will not go mad, and you can use it power to your advantage.
We could be collecting quite a lot of it. Can't carry it everywhere.
Well, you could leave it with me, and I will ensure that it is put to good use.
That totally didn't sound sinister at all.
What has happened in this room? Like, I can't imagine you're getting many travellers up here, and look at the state of it. What has happened?
These are all offerings for the Frostmaiden. Do you not see the divine beauty that surrounds us?
I'm struggling to, but maybe I just need to, get some glasses. But I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
Look at the workmanship on this, Baskia.
I think she's very distracted by all the blood and the guards.
I thought, why would you sacrifice an owlbear when she is an owlbear? That's the form she takes.
She takes the form of a great owl, adorned with large horns.
Oh.
She is not an owl bear.
Ooh, question. When we have seen her, does she look like an owl with big horns or an owl bear when we've seen...
She looks like an owl with big horns, yeah.
That's my mistake.
But that
times can't even describe her.
But that is like the description we've been using of this sort of owl bear shape is very true. She's a large sort of size of a bear, with owl feathers and these large horns. I think as you look around, all of the figures are beautifully carved. And all of the either whittled down with wood or chipped away with stone, like the finest craftsmanship. And then it goes for the same for the hides and the meats. The hide is expertly removed from the flesh of the owlbear. The meat that hangs is in perfect strands and in chunks. Like everything in here is the finest of skill.
I do appreciate the skill here, Shaman, and I have to say I'm very partial to some jerky myself.
Do not touch my jerky.
All right.
And you look around, there is a lot here. I think there's a moment that maybe dawns on you. Although as he is the only person here at the moment, this is enough food to feed several people.
Maybe 2 dragons.
And you think about the berserkers you fought who slayed Denzel, and how how they were bare-chested, frostbitten, wielding shardlin weapons, roaming the landscape.
Norman, I have a little question for you. There is a lot of human sacrifice that's happening in 10 towns, as Topiary was saying, the people that are being... Actually, just real quick check in case I'm getting this wrong. My understanding of the human sacrifice is that they are literally sent out into the cold to die.
Correct.
Okay, great. So they're all being sent out. Do they find their way here and become part of this? Like, is that what's happening?
Many things happen to those who are sacrificed to Aurial, or those who find themselves lost within the Arctic tundra. Those who possess the finest skills find their way here. So we can use our mastery and our talents to create the most beautiful gifts to our maiden. But there are also those who are unskilled, left to die and to walk as mere wraiths amongst the snow. And you think back to the Frostlight Walkers that chased you that one time.
Well, it's
What else
certainly
is
all
it-
coming together. No, go.
What else lays in this cave? Is there any more to explore? Can we go for we have a tour?
Roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Because I shot him 3 times in the neck.
Because he killed his dragons.
Well, he's unreasonable. Disadvantage. A 9 at persuasion. -2. That's a 7.
7. He looks you over and looks at the three of you and he says, I think it's about time that you continued your journey away from here.
All right. There is something I need to do, a ritual to cast for my worship of Aurial. Can I do it in the main room? It'll take 1 hour.
He smiles and he says, please, take all the time you need.
Thank you. Sorry about the whole killing thing. My bad. Well, Pignut's bad.
That's all right. You have nothing to fear here. Those who are worshippers of Aurial shall never fall.
Great.
And I'm going to skip off to the main. I like him. He's cool. I'm going to skip off to the main room and I'm going to take these items, collect them. I've got a javelin, two morning stars. I'm going to keep the rings separate. So I'm going to take the javelin and the 2 morning stars. I want to... Is the shardlin a metal?
It's a type of magical metal, yeah.
Metal. That must include some metal. Right. I want to use my artisan's blessing. And I want to sit there for an hour like... And I want to make 2 figurines. One's going to be a copy of her little house, and one's going to be the owl with horns.
Okay.
2 big chess pieces out of this shardlin.
Why would I keep these useful weapons when I could use them to make a pretty thing?
The Baskia and Pignut, what do you do over this hour?
I don't know how possible this is really, but if it's in any way possible, I could do with another short rest. But like,
you get
just to be
short
able
rest
to,
over an hour, yeah.
Just to, I'll try and sort of stick as much as possible with everyone in the room. So perhaps it's not quite as restful as normal, but yeah, just trying to regain some energy.
Okay, and Pignut.
If the shaman has left us alone, I think I would like to look at the side. The purple crystal, I assume, and just try, figure out what it is and where it came from. Like, there's like a signal or something, and try and match it with whatever's going on in my head, and communicate with it. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna take a little 5-minute break because Barnaby needs a wee. Also, I need to roll a dice, so I'm just gonna do that now.
See how many berserkers like come through the door.
I want to do. Actually, no. We'll take a.
Followers of Aurial, it's fine.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Topiary, as you pile up the Shardland weaponry and you start to focus, to will this this strange metal into new shapes, which is going to take about an hour. You're doing so in the main chamber. There's a dead. I think the shaman, while you're doing this, drags the wyvern across the chamber and down into like their little treasure hoard where they were. You also see the 2 cages at the back of this cavern with the eggshells in them. And he's sort of milling about around you. Baskia, you're sort of meditating to get some of your energy back, and Pignut, you're wanting to have a little poke around. Is that right?
No, just looking at my
Oh, sorry. Yes, you want to look at the
If there's time to have a little bit of a sneak, that'll be great.
Like the gem that we stole from him.
We stole from the horde. I don't know if it was
from the dragon.
Dragon had just
got it from somewhere.
picked it up, so I don't know. He might not even know about it. Is my
Cool.
But if he's around, I will not.
Okay.
Take it.
He's like in and about, while you're doing that. I think, Pignut, as you hold both of these objects, let me just bring it up.
What's the other one?
Well, you've got 2 of these crystals, don't you? Oh, you're just holding up one.
I gave one to.
Granny Taupe says one, doesn't she?
Yes. Do I have? I don't think I have another one.
Yeah, you have the one that you just gotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that.
So as both of these are in close proximity, you hear the repetition in your mind. Topiary, it's even in your mind as well now. Nautiloid down. Emergency protocols enabled. Crew safe but vessel imperiled. Psi crystal needed. Come at once. And it just repeats over and over.
Can I? Sorry.
No.
Can I try communicate with it?
Mm.
Hello. Where are you? What is your location?
Oh, interesting. As you try to reach out, it seems to react, this distress signal, to what you're saying in your mind, reaching out. Nautiloid down, emergency protocols enabled, crew safe, vessel imperiled, south of civilization, within mountains. Send help, psi crystal needed, come at once. Nautiloid down, south of civilizations, within mountains, come at once. Discoveries need to be sent home. Scientific research, crew, brood on board. Send help, come at once.
Brood on board. Mum?
That doesn't...
Pignut! Hello?
Nautiloid down. Emergency protocol enabled. South of civilization. In the mountains. Brood on board. Brood on board.
I don't understand.
Nautiloid down. Come at once. Help needed.
He's going to throw the thing down. He's getting frustrated.
Rolls across the ground.
And then after a little bit, he'll probably pick it up and give it to Baskia and see if that grants her the same telepathic skills that Granny Taupe's got with the other one.
You would need to attune to it to do that.
I'll just give it to her in the meantime.
Which, if you want to also spend this hour attuning to that crystal, you may.
I will happily do that if we think that is acceptable. Like if it's taking a second for maybe we and this is like me. I mean, I normally love to cheat, but it feels like if you spent some time like looking at it, it feels like maybe I need to do that when we long rest before we long rest.
I think it can be part of your your long rest,
Yeah.
your short rest now. I'm happy for that.
I've tried to be good, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Whoop.
Yeah, so you can find the psi crystal, PSI crystal. Basically, it will grant you telepathy as long as you're attuned to it.
So cool.
The crystal glows with a purple inner light while you're attuned to it. And the higher your intelligence, the greater the intensity of the light, and the greater the range of your telepathy.
Excellent.
What's your intelligence score?
It's 12, so I'm just looking at 12 to 15.
So you have telepathy out to a range of 60 feet.
Ooh.
And the light is glowing 15 feet. Is when you pull the crystal out, that's how much light you get from it.
That's so cool.
Oh no, bright light to 10 foot and then dim light to... So yeah, you get 10 feet of light around you.
Perfect. Thank you, Pignut. This is going to be so helpful.
All right.
Baskia, you hear, "Not lie down, send help, south of civilization," and it just repeats over
Wait.
over in your mind.
Wait.
Good luck with that.
Wait.
I can
Oh
see the
no.
corner.
How do I switch it off, Pignut? Oh god. Do you hear words all the time in your brain? How do you function?
No, not all the time. Just a lot of it now.
Also, I wasn't trying to listen, but also we're really close to each other. Are you thinking that this could be connected to your past a little bit? The voice on here.
I don't know. Why can I understand it? You have... Granny Topes has, like, the crystals, or I don't need a
Oh.
crystal.
Apologies. Baskia, do you speak deep speech?
No, I speak Dwarvish and Elvish.
So you don't
Is it just like,
you don't understand this.
What is
And
this?
Topiary, you wouldn't understand it either, I don't think. Oh, do you speak deep speech?
No.
So you wouldn't
no.
understand this either. It's just Pignut.
I can't really hear the words. Just to backtrack on what we were saying there. But no, I can't really hear the words. But I just hear like it's obviously another language. But
It's a language I don't know why I understand it. They're talking about Naughty Lloyd, and I asked where it was, and they said they're south of civilizations within mountains.
within the mountains.
And discoveries need to be sent home. Scientific something. They have a brood. I don't understand why I know this.
Is it this? So you don't know where you know the language from, I guess. And do we should maybe? It's in the mountains. How far? You're good at geography. How far are we? We're at the spine now, aren't we? Is it like the mountains here, or should we go? Is my question. We should maybe go and see.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I'd love to learn more, but there might be more pressing concerns. And I mean, we've just been in a room full of blood.
I know, but well, I'm very confused because all of the. It just seems like they all think they're working towards the same thing, and then, well, I suppose it's a classic, isn't it? They all think they're working towards the same thing, and then people are being really corrupt and just awful.
Everyone thinks they're right as well. Have you noticed that? Nobody has any sense of doubt. Like, and I don't... How can you be so sure?
I know, I don't know. I'm never sure about anything. It's a strange thing, and I feel like everyone thinking they're right is probably why a little bit we're in this predicament. Sorry, Topes, I know that you think you're right. Maybe you are, which is good. That'd be great. I'd much
Good
prefer
thing I'm
your version.
concentrating on something else right now.
I'm going to say telepathically to Baskia, I don't think Granny Topes does all the time.
Interesting. Telepathically back. Also, this is super fun.
Can I hear them with my telepathy?
I think it's a little bit like you have to pick up the phone. Like you can't. It's not always open. Like you can choose the channels.
No, I'm busy. I can't hear him.
I'm going to take the opportunity to say to Pignut, like, I kind of hope that, I don't know, I'm worried that I think it might be someone else that's given her these gifts, and I really hope that if it is, but then also she's very aligned with Auriel as well. The vengeance stuff, it makes sense. So I get very confused. I get very confused about what's going on.
Completely agree.
What a mess.
In front of you, Topiary, the Shardlin has slowly been shifted, but melting away, leaving like little bits of wood and twine and stuff, which has been used to sort of fasten bits together, or fasten bits to bits, or decoratively, or as a handle, begin to drop away as the Shardlin bubbles and moves to form, firstly, Grimskull, the home of Auriel, the old home of the Frost Giants, and the shape of this large human owl figure with large horns. And as you craft it, the Shardlin figure of Auriel, the Frostmaiden, is looking up at you. As you complete your hour creating both of these. Could you roll me a charisma saving throw?
$22.
As you finish it, and as the owlbear looks up at you, your mind flashes dark red as rage fills you briefly. You feel your hand go to your mace, ready to swing out at the closest thing. But you manage to hold that feeling down. Yeah, you get this flash of anger which is not yours. I think that's the important thing. This is definitely something, this large quantity, and concentrating with it. There was a sense of malice and corruption and something within it which was going to make you do something you didn't want to do, or you weren't intending to swing out your mace at the closest person, but in that moment you nearly did.
Will I be concerned? Or perhaps I am protected if I'm fine now. I'm going to ask Pignut.
I'm going to leave the little waddles on the floor, and I'm going to get Pignut to come along, and I'm going to be like,
look upon my creations, Pignut. They made me feel a flash of anger. Is that normal?
I thought the Frostmaiden, like, you follow her, she's supposed to make you feel good.
Yes, and I'm fine now, so maybe she is protecting me from Shardlin.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure Baskia can hear us if she wants to chip in.
Yeah, I probably won't be that far, so I'll, yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling very confused about Shardlin. I just think you just got to be careful. Yes?
Well, I've got the ring. I suppose I could leave them here on the altar. What do you think, Baskia?
I think a lot of people are after it for whatever nefarious reasons, and it worries me to leave it anywhere, really. I don't know, people using it for the wrong reasons, and it just seems like everyone's got their own reasons for needing it, and it's not all aligned.
I'm all for embracing my own rage, but it didn't feel like my rage. It was intrusive rage.
That's concerning, isn't it? That, you know, you've only just made it and it's doing that already.
I'll keep the ring,
I won't wear it. I'm going to put it in a bag.
but I will take these to the altar.
And I'm going to take them to the altar to... I'm going to very proudly be like, ooh, look. So if I see the shaman, I'll be like, I kind of want him to like them.
Yeah.
Like, desperately.
I think let's roll a wisdom check, plus your proficiency.
Not a wisdom save.
No. So wisdom plus your proficiency, which actually would be a wisdom save if you're proficient with wisdom saves.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. 17.
They're pretty good, the sculptures. They're not master craft work, but the detail is beautiful and well attended, and you offer these and you pop them down on the altar, and the shaman is there and he watches you place them down.
Behold my gift.
You have some talent,
Thank you.
especially manipulating this Shardlin into such offerings.
I've always had a close relationship with metal.
Did you? Have you? Sorry. Did you? You're dead now. Have you?
For my mother, she was a miner. A pickaxe. The great pickaxe.
Your mother was a pickaxe.
And my father was a pile of shale. But let us not speak of such things.
He looks over at you and says, I do not know which way, and I do not know which way your faith lies. I cannot read if what you say is truthful or you are deceiving me. But whatever reason, the Frostmaiden has brought you here, to me. Perhaps that reason was for your execution, to ensure that you would no longer plague the land, or perhaps it was simply to show you where you may find the maiden in her truest form. Perhaps this is all but a test for me.
For we have succeeded our test, because we had defeated you. If you were meant to execute us, you would have succeeded.
Would you like
So I
to
appreciate
test?
your compliment about my wonderful work.
Do you embrace winter's cold?
I embrace the Frostmaiden.
And how do you embrace the Frostmaiden?
I pray to her, and she has blessed me with powers.
How do you pray?
I sit down and I introduce myself and I say, and I call out to the Frostmaiden and I ask for her advice.
Readying. I'm worried that he's on the turn, so I'm preparing.
So you followed into the altar room.
I basically at any point won't have really wanted any of them to be too far away. Like, I would like us all to remain pretty close to each other. And I'm worrying that this line of questioning, he's getting riled up. So I'm not being aggressive. I'm just very ready for me to dive in if he starts getting angsty.
Can I telepathically say to Baskia, should you tell him that you were blessed by the Frostmaiden a little bit, if you want to call it that, midwinter child stuff?
And I'll say back, I'll be like, that's how I introduce myself, because he knows.
Oh, he knows. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I told him at the start, but he's getting antsy.
He is. I'm ready. I'm ready to go too.
Okay, this is good.
I have proven myself to the Frostmaiden, leaving the comforts of warm civilization behind, allowing winter's cold to tear at my flesh and my skin. In return, I have been blessed with this location, where I have built my temple devoted to the Frostmaiden, to the beauty within cruelty, to the beauty within the cold embrace of winter. I would like to test you, if you would allow me.
What right do you have to test me when I have spoken to the Frostmaiden and she granted me these powers, and my mission with these powers is not yet fulfilled? Who are you to stand in my way? Demand tests.
I am a shaman of the Frostmaiden. It is my right.
I am the wise woman. The cunning woman. Totally didn't just forget my own nickname.
I believe it is time that you be tested whether you approve of it or not.
Then I shall test you also. And I'll squint at him.
Allow me to kill you.
After you.
What?
It goes both ways. I'm going to hit him with my mace.
As you hit him with your mace, swing, like, decking him across the face, he'll, like, reach out to his morning star and he'll try to... He's going to try and kill you.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
It goes both ways. Me too.
Why do I feel like, Pignut, why do I feel like we're parents and these are our two terribly behaved children? You two! We've already done this once!
I wish I hadn't picked the clan man now as my...
Oh shit, yeah, that would be great.
I feel like I've met a kindred spirit.
So, in this moment, I want to know what happens. Do you allow yourself to... I think with your actions, you're saying that, no, you're not going to allow yourself to be killed. And I don't think
how
Baskia and
very
Pignut
dare
are going to
he.
allow you. So I think we're not going to go through the combat, but we are going to say that the three of you can easily overpower the shaman.
And I will say as well, like, Baskia is like, this is such a waste of time at this point. Like, what is happening? Like, it's just completely stupid. So she's not necessarily trying to be like stabby. I'm just trying to put him down. Like, so you know, in you know.
Could you roll me an insight check, Baskia?
Sure. Oh, advantage! I forget about that. Oh, thank God, that's a 5. Better. 17 plus 5, so 22.
22. With a 22, through all of Topiary's action and yourself, he has such a confusion about where you stand and who you are. And he does not believe that you, from your actions, that you are devotees of the Frostmaiden. He doesn't believe it. And he's doing the only thing that he can see will prove that you are on the same side, is he believes that he cannot die because of something the Frostmaiden has done, which means he cannot die. Therefore, if you don't die, it means you are also followers of the Frostmaiden.
Okay. I'm going to, quite early on in this whole piece, then when we all sort of start going into it, I'm going to go up to him and I'll almost even put a hand on his shoulder. So maybe I haven't drawn my short sword, but my hand on his shoulder, and I'll just go, she doesn't bless us all in the same way. And I'm going to use frosted fingers, which is something that I get from being a midwinter child. And I'm going to like make that whole thing happen without necessarily attacking him, but I will attack him if he doesn't stand down. So it's almost like I'm holding it, but I'm trying to show him, like, basically, stand down, you dick. Like, just stop it.
as the frost comes out of your hands, your fingers turning icy blue, and you can see they're ready to like burst with. I can see in the bottom of Pignut's screen a little chat box, and I can't read what it says.
Don't read it.
I'm going to read it.
God,
Oh no!
I just got the first like.
If I open it, everyone is going to see, so we might have to cut this out of the video. Oh.
Show it to the group. Show it to everyone.
Sorry, my light's coming off.
That's
Oh,
all right.
no.
I'm going to need a persuasion check with advantage from Baskia, basically. That's what I need from this interaction.
Okay, persuasion with advantage.
Mm.
What dice do I want to use? I want to use this one. So 16 minus 1, 15 persuasion.
As you are like mid-combat, like Topiary, you're like bashing him over the back with the mace. Pignut, you're like drawing arrows. Like, he's not going down. Baskia, you sort of grab him by the shoulder, your fingers freezing in place, saying that, you know, we all get blessed in different ways. He will push you back and will say, "Be gone from my temple. Go and find the Frostmaiden and let her judge you for yourself. If you will not allow me to judge you, she will have to do it on her own terms. Go now."
I look to Topes and Pignut, but I'm happy to vacate, but we'll be led by Topes particularly. This feels like a big piece for you.
She has not blessed you this day.
I'm gonna and flounce out.
I don't like this guy. So in the combat, maybe could I have like frisked him to see if he had something magical on him that.
Oh yeah.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I also want to like flick over his like best sculpture.
Natural 20 for 28.
Wow.
28.
Nice.
You don't find anything on him. There's nothing on him. He's bare chested. He's barely wearing like a rag for trousers. However, as the combat like moves around the space, you do manage to see down another one of the caverns. This cavern is bright blue with colored ice. Stalagmites and stalactites of pure ice, some of them reaching and touching. There is a frost almost in the air of this room, and in the center there is a large kind of stalactite, the one that comes from the floor. Stalagmite, the one that comes from the floor, like it's the point chopped off it, and on it there is this another shape of dark blue ice of Grimskull, and from it is radiating ice and mist and frost. And in that moment, with that nat 20, this is what the Frostmaiden has given them. This is what keeps those devoted to the Frostmaiden, or for whatever lives and resides in Grimskull, gives them ability to never die.
I'll just say to Pack, like, if we want to kill him, we just need to destroy that thing, that Grimskull thing.
And as you are being, as you sort of, so that telepathic moment comes from, lands after the shaman is sort of like urging you to leave. So I think in this moment, do you leave or do you go to this object?
What, me?
I think
As a group.
I think I'm looking at it to see how she responds to that info.
I don't want to kill him.
Yeah, well then we leave.
Then you leave.
I mean, I didn't see any humanoid sacrifices in there, did I? So
No.
I can understand the love of animal jerky.
As you leave and exit the mouth of the Frostmaiden and back to this narrow, winding, sheer path with sheer cliffs on either side, coming up towards you are three bare-chested berserkers carrying this large bird with horns. Like, this is more of like a large eagle with like antlers rather than horns, so like deer antlers, and they're carrying this. As they see you, they start to draw weapons, but the shaman calls out, "Leave them! If they are to perish, the Frostmaiden will ensure that it happens. Allow them passage." And as you pass each other, you have this awkward moment of the three of you pass the three of them. There's this moment anyone could try and shove the other off this cliff edge. But you all move past each other. And as you descend back into off the sort of edge of the mountains, you can see in front of you, and the snowstorm has cleared. And I need a group survival check, as you now can see more of the land before you.
13.
Natural 1
Dean.
for a 7.
With a 15, Pignut, you can make out one of the lakes of 10 towns directly in front of you. Probably about a day's journey. You could get back to one of the 3 lakes that surround 10 towns. Which lake it is, you don't know. But you do know that you stand on the spine of the world somewhere, and off towards the west, you are getting the signal from the Nautiloid. And that's it.
West? Oh, I'm so confused. The west is the Nautiloid, but what's at the south then? Because they said the south of civilizations within the mountains. Is that somewhere else?
So
But that doesn't mean they're south of us. That means they're south of civilization. So they're to our west. I assume.
Same thing. Okay. I'll just share that everything with the group. And I think Pignut's I think he's just a bit emotionally, like he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't understand why we didn't kill the shaman or the berserkers who are obviously attacking. Other berserkers attacked us. He doesn't understand why he can hear this other thing in distress. Just feels like so many people are just not like in a good place, and he doesn't know which way to go, north, south, east, west. And I think he's going to be really quiet.
Shall we go west to help these people?
I think it would be good to do that. I think it would be good to see if we can find it where it's coming from. And I want us to look at the telescope as well, the spyglass, not the telescope, the spyglass as well. And if we find somewhere to, because it's a ways away, I think we're going to have to trek for a little bit. And when we make camp, it'd be really good to see if that's got anything to do with. Baskia, I thought of you when I saw it.
You do realize in this moment, using that spyglass, the telescope, I will give one of you advantage on a survival check.
Well, let's do that.
If they look through the spyglass.
Let's totally do that. And I feel like Topiary is a survival, because we normally make Topiary.
I'll take a survival check to make your survival checks an advantage, or a straight perception check.
I mean, I'm happy with whatever. Do you want to do advantage for survival? But you have the spyglass. Is your survival really big?
Yeah.
Metagaming.
Yeah. 6.
Yeah. Roll with advantage.
I got a 1 before. So
Okay,
that's why it's
so roll your additional survival. Try to beat a 15.
18.
18.
Hey.
With an 18... Yeah, I'll give you that. With an 18, you know that you are looking at Lake Dinnershall, which is the lake... Dinnershire, sorry. Which is the lake that... on the banks of that lake is Caer Dineval, Caer Konig, and above that lake, somewhere, is the outpost of the Duragar. So you are to the west, to the east of Icewind Dale, looking out towards Lake Dinnershire. I'm going to pop a map in our chat. If I can figure out how to do that.
Do you mean in the phone chat?
In the phone chat.
Yeah.
Will that let me upload it? Fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah.
I have marked on the map where you are.
Ooh. Is the signal coming from the direction that the Duragar hideout is allegedly supposed to be?
So
No, because that would be north, wouldn't it?
Okay, cool.
Would it be north?
so kind of northwest of you, that's where you're going to find the Duragar outpost, somewhere out there. If you go, the signal is coming from the west, kind of west, southwest almost. So that's somewhere in the mountains southwest of you. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm all for like trying to rescue the people, calling for help, but also with the rest in between because
Yeah.
lead one.
I think we'll have to because I think it's a long way. And I feel like Baskia is aware that maybe Pignut's gone a bit quiet and has been a bit distressed, and so would quite like to sit around the campfire and maybe have a little chat.
Mm. So, roll me another survival check for whoever's going to try and find a place to long rest over the evening.
Are we using the spyglass again? We should totally do that.
Yeah.
This is less of using the spyglass. That was more to get your like bearings of surroundings.
Bearings.
Like this is you're looking for a place that is safe to long rest.
I put it away.
16.
16. So you head down the slope of the mountain. You find another like inlet in the caves. It looks like another creature was here some time ago, although it doesn't look like they've been here anytime soon. There's enough shelter here from the ice and snow, and you think you could probably get a fire going within the shelter.
Alrighty.
Let's do it. Let's just take a second and regroup.
Before we end the session, is there anything that you want to discuss? Plans you would like to make? A little bit of guidance for me about where you are planning to go, what your next move is?
I think we should go southwest and try and find the distress signal.
Yeah, the Nautiloid.
What were we gonna do before we got taken away, though?
We were going to the
Caer
Dineval.
You were going to speak to the town speaker who's gone missing.
And the ring.
And finding the location of the ring, which you believe the Duragar have within the outpost north of Caer Dineval and Caer Konig.
That's closer than.
But it's a distress signal. We don't know how close they are.
It could have been going on for years, though. I suppose.
We've been hearing this buzzing noise since we started this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Is that and that's what I've been hearing this the whole time?
If we walk
You've been
for a
hearing a
day-
buzz, and now it's getting louder, and yeah.
If we walk for a day and it's not louder, we can go back. But, you know, you've got to help people in need.
Topiary, I just wanted to really quickly check though, is this coming from like that, or is this coming because you don't want to go back to the place where you were sacrificed, which would be totally understandable.
The cunning woman,
Mhm.
TM. I will help all who ask for my help. And these people are Baskia, such distress they are in. And look at poor little Pignut. Oh, grab his little face. Oh, look at the distress these voices in his head cause him.
Maybe, well, I will go with you. I want to sort the Jurga people out, but I do also want to help people as well. Pignut, it's difficult because one path is the ring and your family and the ties to that in terms of finding it, and then the other path is maybe also to do with your family. And what do you want to do?
You know how the white lady, how she came back and was like, I have unfinished business and ooh and all that. I've been thinking, like, why have I come back? Do I have unfinished business? Why am I here? Why can I understand this buzzing? Why? Just why? And I haven't really thought deeply too much about it, but recently on our journeys I have. And I guess maybe I'll find. They mentioned a brood on the signal thing. I don't. The ring will lead me. My mum always said, go back to Bryn Shander, to the house there. The ring will take me to the house. I don't think she's there. She might be, or at least answers might be found at the other end of this. At least I'll know. I don't know, just a little bit more about my past. I don't know. I feel like that maybe it's we should go to follow the buzzing.
Yeah, that makes sense. There are some very big questions as well about what happened. Let's try and find you some answers. That makes total sense. And
I mean, I feel like the vegetable gods brought me back, but I've not really seen them since. I don't hear them like the Frostmaiden speaks to Granny Topes, or I just.
It's more like a blowing of the wind in a certain direction. I think all the gods might be just slightly hands off, like they'll give us some powers, but we have to decide our own fates.
Yeah.
what you've been given this life now, so maybe just we'll find some answers. I know that we will, but I think maybe just in the short term, maybe just think about what you want now, because you're here and you have that choice and it's in your control. That's something that you can do right now. Like, what do you want? And then the rest of it, we'll find it. Just don't want you to be. I want you to be happy, feel your feelings, obviously. Don't, oh God, why is it with you, Pignut? I always like tell you, I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? Like,
Pignut, if she tells you to go to a boat, don't do it.
No, but, we'll find some answers. So I just think like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to give him a hug. She doesn't know what to say. Let's go see what these people are doing. Maybe it is your mum. Who knows?
I don't think so. She sounds weird.
I mean, I will say what I can hear is like.
Yeah, why can I understand it? I don't Why can I be telepathic? Why can I speak into people's brain? I mean, it's really cool.
I feel like it is really cool. I feel like it must just be from before, and I can speak I can speak Dwarvish and Elvish because I learned them. I guess you just learned them, but you don't remember doing it.
I don't know anybody else apart from you guys now that can do it. But maybe it's the Haragon thing.
I could speak Primordial. I was just born that way.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, I just think I want to know a little bit more about who I am. But also, Granny Topes, I don't... Why did you trust that shaman, man? I don't... He didn't seem good to me.
No, I don't know. I liked his craftsmanship.
Pignut's not going to understand that. You'll just nod. Okay.
I don't know. In a world of shitty people, he wasn't the shittiest person we've met.
He was quite bad.
I mean, yes, he was the undead. He tried to kill us twice, but we did kill him once.
He seemed...
kind of feel like we're evens.
He seemed really... Well, yes, he seemed really genuinely confused about who we were, and it seemed, I guess, if he's built his whole life on one thing, and then we probably made him have a bit of an existential crisis.
There was no humanoid sacrifices, and it did tell us where to go.
Except the humanoid sacrifices from the other towns, and like help turn into workers and things that try and kill us.
Give us quite a lot of information. He had beef jerky, he had animal jerky around the place. I felt maybe he could have been her kindred spirit. Should we go back and kill him?
Well, no, if he's a kindred spirit of yours, it just makes me question the Frostmaiden, and I'm sorry to say that, but to me, she doesn't, apart from you, everyone else that worships her is a fucking asshole. No, he doesn't say fucking. He doesn't say fucking.
Pignut doesn't swear.
We'll beat that out, please.
Pignut, I would tend to agree. I think the others are very misled generally. But the thing about faith is it should be blind.
It should be blind?
Yes, if that's the whole point of fate, isn't it? That you just have no proof. You never see any proof. You never hear any proof. But, I mean, apart from my magical powers. But you just keep on believing. And eventually your stubbornness pays off with a blessing.
Is there do you think about the possibility that there are two things, right? One, maybe you are right, and Aurial is someone's masquerading, and that's what's happening. But also, like, what if Aurial isn't at the core of your powers? Maybe it's a different god.
I mean, Aurial does approve of violent revenge. So, I don't know. Why do I have these powers? Where else would they have come from? If not her. When I prayed to her at her altar, I haven't heard from her much lately. Well, apart from she totally sent us here with that ring. What am I saying?
It's all very confusing. It's not a good place. Like I want to solve this shit. Like, finish this eternal winter and honestly leave. Like, I don't like it here.
I just wanted to be honest with you, Granny Topes, about my feelings toward the Frostmaiden. And I hope that doesn't cause any offence.
That's totally fine, Pignut. You just have to remember that we are right and everybody else is wrong. They're just totally misled. They don't know what they're talking about.
How can you be so sure?
Because I have faith. Such is the nature of faith.
I think he's just going to go quiet at the conviction.
If I was wrong about this, Pignut, what else would I be wrong about? Would the sky be purple? Would vegetables be meat? Would dog marry cheese? What next? What are the chaos in the world?
Like a very good point.
Baskia's like, does she?
I think Pignut's just going to try to pretend he understands, but which is how I think that's sort of been the basis of their relationship a lot. They just talk absolute nonsense to each other.
I'm going to hand around the acorn brandy.
I think we all need it. Yeah, 100%.
I might even try and set up a little distillery.
As you hand around the acorn brandy, you reach the end of the day. Having decided to veer wildly off course in a different direction.
Sorry, DM.
No, it makes perfect sense because I gave you more information about something and you have decided to follow that strain, which is great. You wonder what you will reach when you reach the source, what you find when you reach the source of this distress signal, and also how far you will need to travel to reach it. As you follow the edge of the spine of the world, what you will discover in the fringes of Icewind Dale. And that's where we will end this session.
Ooh, look how cool your blanket is.
Game of
Show us
Thrones
your
one.
blanket.
Show us your blanket.
Blanket at.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Look how boring my blanket is.
I don't even have a blanket.
Right. Shall we
You've got a pocket though, haven't you? So you don't need a blanket.